Hi guys, so welcome back. It's me, Mikey,
And it's me, Happy B, aka Kavasi, aka Kavan.
and this is Geek Podcast. Um, if you are new here, welcome. Welcome to the best 45 minutes to hour of your life.
It was all a lie.
Hmm.
Uh, if you are a returning person, again, welcome to that 45 minutes to an hour of your life. How have you been, Kavan?
Oh, you know, just allowing capitalism to suck all the life and energy out of me because job, I need it to get through adulting. But no, in all seriousness, I've been good. Trying, attempting to play more games and everything because that's like one of my favorite hobbies and it's something to get my mind off of working so much. But adulting, right? No, but I mean, good. How have you been?
Um, I've been good. As I say, I haven't been gaming as much. I've been reading a lot more, but aside of that, I've been doing a little bit more traveling. As I say, well, just in general, I think we've done, yeah. So for those who don't know, as I say, you can check on our individual pages at Kavvy.suit and at Jermaine. The ads will be in the description. But in
Yes.
June, we went to LA. We went to LA, had
Oh,
a
yes,
blast, had a
we
ball.
did.
The week before that, I went to New York. Um, and I would say this, what you call it, this weekend, I did like a cute vacation just to kind of get away from everything. Had a blast, 4th of July with a good friend, and I would say currently, well, after this, by the time this episode airs, I would have been returning back from my trip to Atlanta. So yeah, I would say I'm just happy that I'm been doing that. Working, work is work. What does that mean? Work is work. I don't play.
Literally.
But yeah, but yeah, that is just kind of catching up on things with the blog and catching up just with people. So yeah, I would say it's been a big thing. But overall, I'm just very happy, very excited that Geek Podcast is back. Um, and for those
Hey.
who don't know, our first returning episode was with the incomparable, the phenomenal, the amazing Jameson, which by the way, go stream No Name and pre-save the album Space Between.
Yes,
Um
yes, it's coming out next
yeah,
weekend.
actually July 17th. So
Literally.
literally as soon as y'all gonna hear this on the 16th and y'all need to pre-save right then so that way you can dance because when I tell you I got a chance to listen to this song and it's gonna be so fucking good.
Hmm.
Good fucking food.
Hmm.
Excuse my
Hmm.
language. Actually, no, fuck that. Uh, it's geek
Good
motherfucking
fucking
podcast,
food. Good fucking
bitch.
eats.
Good
Your
motherfucking food.
puss
But
will be buzzing. Hmm.
and if you don't dance, if you don't get up and dance, your butt stinks.
What was
Um,
that? What that one guy say? It's
Get up and bust a move. Your ass stink. Your clitoris is dirty and your uterus.
really. It's
no,
gonna
literally.
like
Oh,
yeah. No,
it's
no,
so
no. I'm so proud of him. And again, thank you so much, Miles, aka Jameson, for allowing us to interview you, for allowing us to experience some of this new sound that you're curating, and just like us being a part of like this. I'm so excited for him. And thank you for letting us use you for our first episode because yeah.
But yeah, I was gonna say so. I'm so excited. So, like I said, this episode drops
Mhm.
Thursday. Thursday. Well, yeah, you're gonna hear it on Thursday, obviously. But this episode drops Thursday. But speaking of Thursday, um, with a new season come new things, new format, new ways of life. You know, um. So one of the things I wanted to talk about just a little bit. So we are switching to a bi-weekly model. You I gotta hit the business hands. We're switching to a bi-weekly model. You know,
Mhm.
very entertainable. As I say, one, we want to make sure that we give y'all the best quality. not even just of the audio, but also of the video experience, but also just the overall Geek podcast experience. We want to make sure we give you the best of the best. And while weekly would be nice at the current moment, life is life is life for everybody. Especially
Hmm.
if you live in the US, you understand what's going on in the world. So what did Beyonce say? Working 9 to 5 just to stay alive, but
Working on
also
five, just
while
stay
saying
alive.
that, like in very, very small, like font, like a 2.5 font, is literally watching the current president in office commit war crimes and, seeing people get kidnapped by ICE and all of those things. So with that being said, yes, we're doing every other Thursday. We're doing fun little games that eventually we would like to get you guys involved in. So I would say once you guys get with it, we would love for you to get involved. So I would
Course.
say write into geeked@gmail.com. And because this time around we're doing a fun little game you're gonna catch in the middle of the episode called Character Mashup, and you're gonna get the gist of it, and we want to hear some of yours so we can share it on the podcast. Um,
Yes.
but yes, can you come on, tell them about what we're doing with the different episodes because I know they were used to us going from movie, TV, comic, video game like that. So can you get a little bit more into depth of like the new format?
I can try. No, but yeah, for anybody who is new, you won't know how our old format was, but for anybody who isn't new and has been with us, like he said, we usually did all of our topics, which was basically movie, TV, comics, video games. Then we kind of added video games kind of like towards the end. And then LGBT Q because we are gay and geeky. Um,
Sure.
and try to mash all that in. But as two bitches that love to ramble, we started to realize that like we were having like almost 2 hour videos. And as much as I would love to think that we are like the Kid Fury, the Crystals, and in the other podcasters who can do almost 3 hour videos and get away with it, we are not. So we want to kind of do something a little bit more bite-sized. So we're going to do something more of like focus on one topic or at least have an episode where we focus on one topic, maybe even add little fun mini games that we want the audience to kind of chime in or whatever. And then sometimes we'll have certain episodes where if we may not have as much to talk about for that topic, may merge two topics together. You might have a little TV and video game, you might have a little movie and comic. But for the most part, you're just gonna focus on like one topic at a time and then go from there. Specifically today, we are going to be talking about video games. Just because out of all the topics that we do have, I mean, it's been since 2020, so there is so much that we could like touch on and talk about. But again, that's gonna be a long ass video. So but mainly the main thing as of recently, that has been like the most hectic, I want to say, or the most like glaring news has been coming out, has been in the more video game sphere of things. So yeah, we'll be talking about that today, but next week, maybe talking about movies. The week after that, maybe talking about TV, or we may be doing both. But we want to definitely switch it up and make sure that it is still at least like good bite-sized conceptualized to where like we get a good conversation going, but it's not too long. If you get my gist, if you smell what I am
We
stepping
want y'all
in.
to eat, but we don't want gluttony to occur.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly, exactly. I would like to think that I'm the Archbishop of gluttony, but I don't want to sit here and
I don't want
actually
to put that
cause
on you.
gluttony. Yeah, exactly. So exactly, exactly. So but yeah, hopefully I explained that pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, did you did you want to bring in and start the conversation on video games? Because to be honest, I don't even like I don't even know where to really even start.
Oh, God. Here she
Oh,
goes.
yeah, pretty much. For anybody who is like a gamer, I'm sure you probably are a little privy to stuff that's been going on here and there. But for the most part, people who are not and maybe even just casual gamers, a lot has happened. To touch like bases here and there, we're still going to like talk about it like in depth, but like as of recently, PlayStation has talked about going discless by 2028.
Tomato,
We
tomato,
have
tomato.
Microsoft mentioning wanting to do the same thing with their new console about going digital, as well as constant constant layoffs from the video game developer sphere from this year and last year, while these same companies who are laying off these people continue to keep making more and more and more and more money. And GTA 6 has also not only been announced, but have also started pre-orders with no gameplay. So yeah. Where do you even where we gonna start at? Cause
Well, let's get into let's just get into the digital part.
okay.
Um,
Oh,
because it really bothers my soul. But yes, no, as I say, so, the industry has shifted a lot. While I would say yes, I have been thankful for the fact that certain games, pretty much the digital as being able to download games digitally without having to get the disc, sometimes it has been like a positive for me. But also like nothing beats going in a store and buying a physical copy. And even if that's not your disc, it's the fact that it's still recognized as a way to get games. The thing that bothers me the most is that it is now this push into going discless. Um, so for those who don't know, PlayStation, they kind of kicked it off where starting, if I'm not mistaken, it's either next year or the year after. All games will be going this. All games will be discless. If you want to play a game on their system, it will be digital. No, you cannot be. I mean, no, you cannot buy a disc anymore. No, you can't use a disc anymore, which kind of sucks because imagine you got a regular PS5 with the disc thing, or you got a disc drive. You have no reason to use it now because everything is discless. Um,
mhm.
and then even to add to that, like Microsoft, they're on a sneak tip trying to get into it because it's just like, yeah, we're going to do like a disc to digital conversion. You can put what you call it, you can put physical discs in there to get like the digital license to be able to play it on future Xbox consoles. And it's just like at first it was like, oh yay, that sounds awesome. But also no, because well, as of right now we don't know how it works because well my whole thing is I'm thinking, are they ripping the digital license off of the physical disc? So the disc is pretty much useless, or are they able to play it on there? But nonetheless, also it's kind of making the store like physical stores useless. Because I would say I know GameStop is not everybody's favorite store, but
Mm-mm.
also once this
Especially with
happens,
how the CEO been acting, because I think he's a Trumper.
yeah.
Anyways, but yeah, sorry, continue.
But I'm gonna say, but yeah, like stores such as GameStop or other like stores that sell physical games, it'd pretty much be pointless. And because if you can't buy a disc, if you can't go to Bell and Memphis, then where the hell else can you go?
Then where the hell else can you fucking go? Not only that, but it also concerns me and a lot of other like gamers or people who just like love video games. Even I think casual people, though I do feel like casual people may not like care as much. But it is concerning in the sense of like when you think about everything going mainly digital, specifically with how it's being kind of forced now,
Mhm.
rather than us having that option. It kind of also feels like we don't actually have, like we can purchase these games, but we don't actually own it
We
because
don't
it's
own shit.
digital. Like at the end of the day, say, something goes on with licensing. I'm not too privy on how licensing works between the video game like publisher and the actual like people like Sony or like Xbox goes. But I'm sure like say if a license expire or something in that sense expires to where like they would have to take the game off the storefront, maybe they could just probably do it. And they probably wouldn't think twice about it. And they would probably think and know that you wouldn't think twice about it because for most of us, like I didn't even think about it until they started mentioning these things. Like I have slowly but surely started buying digital games because it's way more convenient than going out and getting a physical game. However, because I'm getting digital, yet now they can probably go ahead and once, like I said, once like a license ends or whatever, hypothetically, theoretically, but once a
Right.
license ends, like, and they want to take it off, then they can. So it is very, very concerning in that matter, but it also is concerning in the sense of, all right, and back to making sense. I but no, I felt myself going into a tangent because I was starting to get irritated about it. But long story short, I do believe that it is still a problem, especially when it comes into the preservation of games. And also the accessibility with said games as well. Games are getting very expensive. I forgot when games
80
went from
fucking dollars.
60 to $70. Was that around COVID, maybe around that time?
80
Where
fucking dollars for fucking Super Mario Kart World.
don't even in which we're going to talk about it, but even with GTA 6, GTA 6 being $80, but the Ultimate Edition being $100, and people saying that the $100 edition is actually the full game, but they did $80 so that way it could look more appealing. Like it's just like they're finding more and more ways to raise these prices and think that
Give a
for
flex.
us it's just like, well, I mean, but you want it. Like this is what you've been wanting. So like,
It's the
yeah, no,
strings
you'll
effect.
pay for it. And I think that it takes away the accessibility when it comes to when you don't have the money and you actually want to be able to play a game. Like back then, for me, perfect example. Like, paint the scene. Early
Okay.
2000s, you at GameStop or at least at one of the game stores or whatever, and like, you see the brand new game, I don't know, Super Smash Brothers Melee comes out, right? But
Right.
it's full price. So you know your mama not gonna get it because she already told you that she ain't got money like that.
She said it's a $30
Where
limit up in this bit.
yeah, exactly. Or, hit you with that, I'll think about it. But then you start looking at other games and you find a game that attracts you because you see the actual game and you see the game cover, you look at it, oh, it's $10 because it's in a bargain bin or whatever. I feel like it's gonna take that aspect away. Maybe not now, but if everything's gonna go digital within the next 5 years,
Mhm.
that aspect of being able to look for those type of games because you can't get the 70 to 80 to $90 game right now is gonna be gone. And I think that it's also going to deter a lot of specifically console gamers to want
Mhm.
to actually continue to play or get into these new games or get into gaming because they're so priced fucking out with it. Unless they, I guess find a game on the PlayStation store where it may be like a bargain bin, but it's like an indie game. And not a lot of people are willing to be open-minded enough to want to play an indie game. A lot of them do just want to be playing their 2K. Some of them want to play and stick to their Pokemon. Some of them want to stick to their Call of Duty.
It's
Like,
me.
and there
I'm
is
Pokemon
nothing.
business. I'm not gonna lie. I'm
Exactly.
Pokemon bitches.
And let me tell you something. Try Pokemon could never get into it. But and that's okay because there's other games, especially if we're talking about in the Nintendo sphere specifically at this moment, where I could get into or like especially if it's like a little bit cheaper. But either way though, I do feel like that this is going to be a huge problem. Do I think that right now anybody genuinely really cares? The average consumer, I don't think so. I don't think they're gonna really care until it really hits their pockets. I don't think that parents who are buying games for their kids, for their child, are really gonna care until it actually starts hitting their pockets, and then they're going to have to go and do other means to be able to play the new game or whatever. I also feel like the positive within that may cause the people who are pushing the new agenda for gaming to hopefully realize that them constantly raising these prices aren't going to be like, whoa, people actually can't afford it. Huh.
Soccer.
Well, maybe we actually should bring the price down. Maybe we actually should change, and maybe it's hopefully something like that happens.
They're
But
not 50
I
and
don't think.
$60 games. I was gonna say, honestly, I feel like that's a good medium. It's not too expensive. It's not, yeah, like it's not too expensive, but also at the end of the day, it's enough to make sure the developer company make their money back, but also everybody on the team gets paid fairly, and like the publishers get their money too. I would say because pushing it to I feel, yeah, pushing it to $70, $80, like you said, is just it's not feasible for actual gamers. It acts like you said, it deters people from playing games. Because when I first got a Switch too, I think Mario, like I said, Mario Kart World was $80. I'm not fucking. I love Mario Kart, but I'm not paying 80 fucking dollars for that. Nintendo and their stuff, they never really discount their Nintendo exclusives. So
Mhm.
I can't even bank on it going what you call it going on sale. Even like fucking Donkey Kong Bonanza. But then again, that's where the disc part comes in, or I mean, for Switch, like the tip, like the SD card or whatever. But that comes in handy because if I go to like a game stop and I get the physical 9 times 10, if it's in a bargain bin, even if it's not like $30 or $40 cheaper, like cutting off that $10, $20 will actually persuade me to buy it. I'm not gonna lie. And then on top of that, I feel so I'm putting on my tinfoil hat.
Then I'm with you.
Okay. I
It
feel
sure
like
stuck.
the I feel like the push for expensive games is also leading to how can I say leading to a subscription model because if nobody is buying the games because it's too expensive, then that gives them more of a reason to go to pay for their subscription. So
Mm.
like we know with PlayStation, you have like the basic, you got the essentials and then premium and all of that. Well, who's to say they won't add another like tier to it? Or who's to say like certain game like even with that they'll be like, oh yeah, well if you have premium, you can buy the game for like like people Xbox already does that, like where if you're subscribed to yeah, if you're subscribed to like X like the what is it the
Xbox Game
what
Pass?
yeah, the Game Pass, like
Hmm.
certain games or whatever. Oh yeah, you still gotta pay for it like an EA subscription or whatever, but you get like 10% off the game or 20% off the game, but that's of that specific publisher. But it's still the fact that, it's pushing subscription after subscription after subscription. And at that point, while we already don't own any digital games as is, I feel like pushing this subscription base will really put the power in their hands because kind of like what was done with Warner when they were merged with Discovery. A lot of different like HBO Max originals were just straight out taken off, like never to be seen again, deleted. Prime example number one, Legendary, great show on HBO Max. When the merger happened, they was just like, well, we don't need it, so we just deleted it. We don't have no physical copies of the show. We're unless unless somebody is selling the fees, you can't watch no more. And in a sense, that's where it's going with this, with
Yep.
digital gaming. And that is my biggest gripe.
Hmm. Into the void. And you don't want I don't you don't want that to be the case or happen, because the more and more we they lean into that, the more and more we again don't have control over our favorite games, over our favorite media in general. They will basically just be able to have the say so on when they want to put it on, take it off, and we won't be able to have the say so of when we actually want to play it, when we actually want to watch it, and we actually want to listen to it. Even though we are mainly talking about video games, it is happening literally in every sphere, in music, in television, in movies, like, and in video games. So like it is very concerning when, especially specifically video games right now, which I want to say is one of the biggest what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word I'm looking for? What's the word I'm looking for? I'm doing a little what is it? What's the word I'm looking for? Um Biggest industries. Video game is one of the currently is one of the biggest industries right now. Especially with GTA 6 being announced and everything. And I feel like when an industry is leading and changing something culturally, every other industry kind of starts to follow suit because they see that it's working for them or making them more money. And it's concerning because, again, once all of them do that, then at that point, we, the consumers, don't have as much say so, but they still want us to consume. They want us to still buy. So, yeah, people who are listening to this currently, whether you are very like into video games and or you just casually play it when you can or whatever, be concerned a little bit, be a little bit more mindful of how you spend your coin. And also, when you can, when you do feel like it as well, like speak out about it. Don't don't just like dive into it just because it's like, well, FOMO, or well, my cousin got it, so she want me to get it, so I'm gonna do it. And not like actually be mindful of how you are spending your money, because at the end of the day, that's what they want. They want that clean. And I'm gonna try to find a way to actually segue this, even though it's gonna be a terrible segue. But that does kind of go into how PlayStation is moving with things, just because we were talking about PlayStation going diskless as well as Microsoft, but also PlayStation was catching a good bit of flack. PlayStation is doing a lot.
Rightfully
Anyways,
so.
Sony really is on one from them mentioning a while back that they were going to take all their PlayStation games off of the PC because it's not making enough for them, even though like if you go on like the Steam charts and everything, a lot of PlayStation games on there are still at least in the top 50. Like they're still top selling, which means that they're making good money, to also them doing what we just said about discless. And now there are also a lot of people are also realizing that they are mentioning removing inactive accounts after
It's
36
crazy
months,
work.
which is a 2-year span. Which this has been a conversation for a while, but I think it's came to the forefront because of all the consistent um news that has came out about all the moves that they have been making. However, while I was looking this up, apparently, this policy has kind of always been in their terms and conditions since 2009.
So,
Specifically, because I
oh,
literally
that
did
is new.
still I forgot which site. Hold on, because I did pull it up. Yeah, 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 yeah. No, I did pull it up. I did have it. Yeah, I'm not a liar. I promise I'm not a liar. But they basically, wow, it won't come up for me anymore.
While I would say while he's pulling that up,
Yeah.
yeah, I would say while he's pulling it up, PlayStation they have been making a lot of collectible moves. But one of the biggest why this is an issue for real is because when they're deleting these accounts, with everything going digital, if you decide to just take a hiatus or you're in the military or for some reason you're just inactive and cannot play the game or you don't want to play it, and you reach that threshold, your account gets deleted. So imagine you spent thousands upon thousands of dollars on games, or shoot, even if you just bought one game, you can't play it no more because they deleted your shit.
Literally. So okay, I found it. Website is videocards.com. Just to,
Mhm.
shout them out just to let y'all know.
Right.
However, this change was implemented around April 2026.
Hmm.
So it actually has been in effect for like 2 months now, but it actually has been in effect longer, specifically since 2019. With the
Oh,
version 10, they had already had an inactivity rule. I did not know about this. I before I got a PC, was a Sony player, PlayStation console girly pop. I mainly have always kind of been that. I've played all the games, but I've always gravitated straight towards Sony. But I never knew that they had an inactivity um rule or
yeah.
cancellation in their terms and conditions. However, they have had it since 2019, and in 2017 they had it for 24 months. 2011 was 18 months, and in 2009 was when it was first introduced with 18 months. So that's roughly 17 years of them having this term, and it seems like they have raised the term from 18 months to 36 months, which I mean, I guess in the grand scheme of things it's like, oh, okay, they giving you like a longer time, but like Mikey said, when you think of them getting rid of discs, and then we find out that they have also this rule and everything, it starts to make you tinfoil hat. It starts to make you feel like, again, they're finding different ways to basically not give you as much control on the games and the service that you purchase in general. So yeah, very glaring, again, very concerning. Am I fear mongering? Well, yes.
It's,
However, you should be scared.
it's necessary. It's it's necessary. What did
Yeah.
Beyonce say in the run? There we go. I just put it up. Whoever controls the media controls the mind. And
Boom.
I know that kind of sort of that doesn't really apply towards that, but also me, I feel like it still applies towards it because again, if you're controlling what people can play, when they can play it, pretty much the terms on what and when they can play, and what you can take away and what you can give them or whatever. Essentially, you're controlling somebody's fun. You're controlling somebody's escape. You're taking control of this big aspect of their life. So, yeah, I would say it's it's not looking good.
No, it's not
And
looking good.
yeah,
And
yeah,
yeah, I say all that to say, definitely support indie developers. Support these indie
immediately.
developers, support these indie games. Like I said, I've made the transition to PC. Though it was an investment, it was for me, a smart investment because as I got older, I've gotten way more into video games, and it's became something like a passion to help me like escape and stuff. And I can't escape if I can't afford it. But these indie developers, these indie games, they are still making it affordable. And they're also kind of, scaring the big corporate girls because if we continue to keep showing that like you don't have to be a billion-dollar company, you don't have to make a $200 million game, nor do you have to charge $80 to make a good game or have people like want to buy it. I think, for example, there's a game called Mecha Chameleon. I want to say,
Why does it sound
I
so
haven't seen
familiar?
a lot of people play it, even Doja Cat. Um, I
Even a
want to say,
video
I
game,
think
I mean, even a robot video game. I say robot video game, bitch. There's a lot. Robot dance video games.
that one, I don't know the name, but I know what you're talking about. But yeah, that I think they sold 16 million copies, and that's a $6 game. And it's only been, I think that game hasn't even been out for a full month yet. So like things like that, please be on the lookout for those things because those are important. And it also gives you more control when it comes to what you want to see, what you want to put your money towards versus what companies feel like you should get or whatever. Like they're the only option because they're not. So yeah. Support Steam, go on Epic Games Launcher, go on all these launchers, like if you have a PC. If you don't have a PC, I say start looking into one. Um, because
Okay.
girl, you might want to yeah. But
You
speaking
need to support the
actually,
indie games that's in like on different consoles. They're everywhere. I was gonna say, do the work first.
yes, do the work. But and I am going to jump just a little bit within this conversation because I did mention Steam. I do want to touch on the bases really quickly with Steam because y'all not out the hot water too. Yes, I'm holding y'all accountable. Um they just recently announced kind of in the beginning of the year they announced that they were coming out with their own version of a game console, the Steam Machine,
And I
which
was
is
so
essentially
hyped.
supposed to. You said what?
I was so hyped, and I'm
I was
so
so hyped too,
disappointed.
girl. Oh my God. It's supposed to like be like competition to the Xboxes, to the PlayStation girlies, to the Nintendo Switches of the world. But instead it kind of became another signal of capitalism and price hikes and everything because their price point is starting at 1,049. Now, for everything that it does give you, especially for the fact that like you get access to the Steam Play Store, in which you have so many access to a lot of like games that you could only play on PC. I also did hear that it is not completely optimized with every game. For I know a lot of people may not have the Steam Deck or whatever. I personally have a Steam Deck, and there is certain games that I can't play, in which it will let you know on Steam what games are not playable and what games are compatible with the Steam Deck. It's kind of essentially what's happening with this game console. And it also kind of, to me, in my eyes, defeats the purpose, especially if you're paying $1,049. Because
Yeah,
if I'm gonna be paying $1,000 for any console, I want to be able to play any and whatever game at the highest, and I do mean the
I
highest
better be able to
resolution.
play any game, and
Yeah.
then on top of being able to play any game, it better be able to take my socks off when I get home, massage my
hmm
feet,
hmm
controller teleports into my hand.
hmm Yes,
For that price point,
I should be able to Neuralink without actually having to Neuralink. Um,
Parking
and
Vipers
it
without the machinery.
exactly I should be able to do that. But of course, we're not at that point. The 512 gigabyte model is starting at 1,049. So that one is
Oh
512
wait, I thought
gigabytes.
that was just overall. God
No,
dang.
no, because there's options. We have options. But the 2 terabyte model is at 1,349. Now, mind you, because I didn't also want to skip past this. I'm sorry. The
Mm.
base 1,049 does not come with the Steam controller. It's just the console itself. Yeah, it does not come with the controller at all. If you want the controller, then you're going to be looking at paying an extra $79. Um,
And see,
Same
that
thing
may be
with the
one
two
of the.
terabyte model. Sorry, go ahead.
I'll say with that, it kind of makes it hard for me to defend them because I know with everything going on with Steam, like I know the price point is kind of contingent on the fact that RAM shortages because of AI.
hmm
Because of that, it'll say it's they have to put it up, they have to mark it up. But also when you do things like this, it kind of makes it harder because we know you can only do but so much. You're not trying to charge people an arm and a leg. You're pretty much they're stuck between a rock and a hard place. The difference between being actually stuck between a rock and a hard place is their version of them being stuck in between a rock and a hard place is the rock. and a hard place and then Steam in between. But instead of it being like very collapsed like this, it's a big gap because I get it. The RAM shortages is more expensive to produce. However, comma, if that was the case, my thing, production wise, I feel like that should have been something that either A, they should have just held off on. And because it's like you can't really get rid of it. That's something that you because they've invested so much money in it. But that's something that you could have held off on until prices had went down. And even if the prices did not go down, I genuinely feel like at some point you could have came to some type of resolve. Because even though it sounds bad, a $700 to $800 price point that would be fine. Like people would get that because even with the RAM shortage pricing, but 1,049 starting point is crazy
with no
at that
controller.
with no controller, with no controller. So as I say, it's ridiculous. Actually, I hate what's going on with it. Um, yeah. So yeah, like I said, it's genuinely just it's something I really hate to see it. You hate
So
to see it. This is so
humiliating.
humiliating. No, literally. This is so humiliating.
Literally,
Especially
literally.
especially as consumers, because like I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you.
How
The
did,
way
but
the industry had changed, because I don't know if you remember, but when they first announced that they were coming out with this Steam machine, the amount of people who were ready to switch over from their consoles to the Steam machine, oh,
and that was supposed to kind of be the appealing part about it, right? Was the simple fact that like you had access to certain games, mind you, because Steam is one of the biggest stores. Okay. Mind you, Steam is one of the biggest PC stores as far as getting a lot of indie games and other games that you can't really get off of console because of course with Sony they have their exclusive Microsoft or Xbox they have their exclusives or whatever and then Steam machine they have a little bit of both worlds as well as their PC exclusives, but it gives console gamers the chance to be able to play those games, it's specifically those indie games. Just because me personally, I do not go to PlayStation to play my indie games. I'm sorry. I go to PlayStation to play my AAA games. I go
okay.
to Xbox to play my AAA games. I got Game Pass to play some of my AAA games. Some of the indie games, however, yes, but that's where I go to for consoles, and it gives that chance for other people to be able to play other games like that. But it also kind of makes it hard because again, the price, girly, and we get it. Like
Okay.
Mikey said, RAM shortage is a concern as well as other PC parts that are being shorted because anyways, sorry, because
Yeah.
I had a brain circuit, short circuit moment. But
But see
yeah,
how
no,
unlike AI, we have a short circuit moment and then hop right back to it. AI can't do that. So put it down.
literally, what's this to say? Let's talk about AI. Robot got more life than mine. But but yeah. So I just think I think that though granted, it makes sense to unfortunately like have to price hike a little bit. Price hiking at this extent is ridiculous, especially out the gate. I feel like specifically like if you're going to be charging 1,049, it should come with a controller. It should come with a
It
controller.
should come.
It should come with
That
a
is
controller.
standard. That is standard.
Minimum. It should come with a controller.
Standard.
Not only that, but I feel like it should also be at least a terabyte. Maybe that's asking for a little too much,
Because
but it should be
no,
at least
it's not.
a
I don't
terabyte.
think it's asking for too much because games nowadays literally will correct. Will I'm not correction, but if people are replacing their main consoles with the Steam machine, they're going to be playing AAA games on there. Games are at this point, AAA games are starting off at 70 to 80 gig, and if they're actually an avid gamer, 1 terabyte ain't shit.
Hmm. A Call of Duty, I think itself is like
200.
over
It's 200.
120. Oh, it's 200 gigabytes. Yeah. So, and
I
it's
think
just like,
so. Let me look it up just to make sure. But yeah.
I mean, basically, roughly. We're
Yeah.
not, is it
Oh yeah, from between 50 gigs to over 200 gigs. Yeah.
crazy? Yeah, and already, what's that? That's that you got 312 gigabytes left. What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
One game.
Um, literally, especially since I'm kind of like reading a summarizing, but I'm seeing that it says that it also offers the same performance comparable to the PS5. And if that's going to be the case, then yeah, starting price it should be a terabyte because I think even the PS5, I think they are raising their prices to 700 to
This is still
800, I
crazy
think.
because they don't even offer a terabyte in itself. And they say 820 gigabytes, but realistically it's 600 something. Pisses me off.
Literally. But even then, like if you're going to have a console that's going to be comparable to the PS5, I do believe and it's going to be $1,000, over $1,000 because how you gonna play the game without a controller? So we're gonna just say 1,128. That's how much it is because you're gonna need a controller. If you're gonna be paying that much, then I do believe that you need at least a terabyte to be able to like get your money's worth. However, though, right now that kind
Yeah.
of is what it is. Me personally, am I gonna get the Steam machine? Well, no. Like I said, I have a
It's out of
PC.
my tax bracket.
Literally, it is out of my price bracket. It's out of my price range. It is out of my ministry, and quite frankly, it's really above me.
Ain't enough overtime in the world for me to
No,
all of that.
no,
I can buy a brand new laptop. I could buy a gaming PC for all that. Honestly, if I wanted to, I can pay rent. And I can do a lot of things with that money.
yeah,
Even if I
yeah,
wanted to spend it frivolously, that's a couple new outfits. That's conceivable. Like,
yeah. I say like my suggestion would be to hopefully like wait and see if they were to ever bring that price down. But realistically, y'all, if y'all
it's
really,
not
really,
coming
really,
down.
really, really want to get a Steam machine, I say just do some research and get you a computer, get you a PC. You can find you a gaming PC to where you can at least, especially if you are not a big gamer, if you are a big gamer, you're probably going to need a PC that is roughly around starting price 1,300 or more, but you can find a good computer, a good gaming computer starting at like $700, $800. And some of them even includes a keyboard and mouse. And if you already have a controller, you can just hook up your controller. I use my PlayStation controller for all my PC games. I didn't even get an actual PC controller. Like there's so many ways to circumvent having to feel like the only way to be able to play certain PC games or PC games in general is to get this console. So I say me personally, I would wait. But that's in volume two. Did you want to take a
Yeah.
quick little break before we go into the next thing?
Yeah. So, BRB guys, um, pretend this is an advertisement. But yeah, so we'll be right back. Okay, and we are back. And before we get into more of the episode, let's get into one of the fun little mini games. So the mini game for today is character matchup. So the way this works is we take different characters from different universes or even from the same universes, but they don't really interact with each other. We take that and we create a plot line, a storyline. Um, and I must say, honestly, I'm so excited. So did you want to go first or did you want me to go first?
I mean, cause I have mine, but it's still like not fully conceptualized, even though it's like a little
Okay.
fun in here. So I'm gonna let you go first.
Okay. So for my character matchup, um,
Okay, I'm sorry.
I about to say, the name. So if it was a title, the title is not necessary. But if it was a title to this, it would be called Emma Rouge. Um, so it's a kind of play on words because there's a Pokemon called Armor Rouge, but it's like Emma Rouge, like Emma Frost, and then Rouge from the Sonic universe. So this character messed up in a sense. Emma Frost, this storyline pretty much like the X-Men, they're trying to rebuild Krakoa or whatever, but they need to cross like transdimensional space things. So they go to the Fantastic Four to ask for help to build something. However, during this, there's a raid that happens, and for some reason, Green Goblin is there, or that part. So we're gonna have to be, but
Mhm.
essentially, a villain like pretty much comes in and ruins it. It kind of messes up the machine, and instead of transporting Emma and the rest of the X-Men to what's call it to the like a world across the galaxy to get the stuff that they need to bring back Krakoa. Um, Emma is transported into the Sonic universe. Um, and normally, looking at it, it's so lively. You have Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and all that running around, but for some reason, everybody's missing except for a bitch flying down with some vampire wings, with some bat wings, and her name is Rouge. But essentially, at first the two they kind of go at it, little hand to hand combat, and because Rouge is just like, you're not welcome here. I don't know who you are, but where are my friends? And it's just like, I haven't a clue of what you're talking about. But essentially, these two unlikely characters, because they sort of kind of share the same personality, they're personality adjacent. Essentially, they work together and they found out that, what you call it, Metal Sonic, he had captured pretty much all of the heroes in the Sonic universe and pretty much Emma teams up with Rouge to take them down. And because it's Metal Sonic, I would say her telepath powers doesn't really work. So she's really relying on that diamond form. And Rouge teaches her how to go like hand to hand combat. And not to say that Emma Frost can't do hand to hand combat, but Rouge is just like, we're dealing with a different ball game. This nigga over here is fast as fuck. So
Mhm.
here's this little power up. I'm gonna give you a little one-on-one combat sparring, and we're gonna take this nigga down. And pretty much it ends with them taking down Metal Sonic and Sonic, and the gang is freed. And Tails is just like, oh well, I can get you back to Reedy. But yeah, that's my character mindset.
Period. Um, I love that so much. And I actually would love to see that. Even if it was like a limited comic book like
Like a good
series or
4 issue
something like
series.
that. Yeah, I could see that just because it's so unlikely, but I mean it's been done before. I think Sonic, I don't know if
Sonic and
Sonic
yeah,
had.
it was the Justice League and Sonic and Friends. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
So they've done it before, and I feel like that would eat no crumbs. Um,
Sure. Okay, let's get
um,
into
uh,
yours, Mr. Kavvy.
well, mine's is a very, 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 very rough draft.
And that's
Winging
fine.
it, and I ain't talking about Rouge when I say winging it. Um,
I'm screaming.
but my character mashup, I was thinking literally James Bond and Metroid, specifically, of course, our girl
Whoa.
Samus. Now, at first I was like James Bond, but he finds himself stuck in the Metroid universe. However,
Hmm.
what if Samus finds herself stuck in the 007 universe, or more so, the universe has already existed just because, like, I believe Metroid deals with more intergalactic
Hmm.
stuff that's happening like outside of Earth, and
Hmm.
Bond 007 is more um happening on Earth. But Zero Suit Samus Samus finds herself, you know traveling, traversing. She has to go back to Earth just because she realized that maybe one of, and I don't please y'all, whoever is very, 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 very versed and in tune with Metroid, please, please don't strike me down because I have
Target to his
only,
head, not his heart.
Yeah, please, because when I tell you that I do not know the current storyline of where Metroid is going, I have played the NES version. I have played the Game Boy version. I have played the side scrollers and such. I do not know the actual main storyline and everything. I think I know a little bit of the Mother M storyline. However, though, let's just say, walk with me here. We
Okay,
don't, you don't even
we're
have to hold
walking.
my hand. Hold my pinky. We can go pinky and pinky, right? Okay. Say she comes back from having to beat some aliens ass, and as she has came back or whatever, she mainly came back just because one of the aliens had escaped, and when they escaped they traversed towards Earth. She doesn't know for sure if it landed on Earth. She just know that it was literally shooting towards Earth. So she goes back. Now, she picks up a signal, right? Says she picks
Hmm.
up a signal. The signal is near the MI6. MI6 is where Bond, I want to say it's a there's a word for it. It's a hold
The
on, back to Cynthia. It's a word for it. There's a word. There's a word for it. Um
um, are you talking about the
agency.
agency?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Oh.
yeah. Spy agency, right?
Hmm.
The signal goes back to MI6 agency or whatever, and that's where Samus cross paths with Bond. Now, of course, he's confused because he's just sitting here on a mission just to go and I don't know, maybe find out because they realize that one of the big people that they're trying to take down, a CEO or whatever, is also a scientist, a mad scientist on the side. And
It tried. It tried.
he a mad scientist on the side and he's experimenting with shit. Well, somehow the scientists may have even found said alien running away from Samus. Get follow with me, okay, right?
Okay.
Running away from Samus or whatever. So the alien ends up in this mad scientist slash CEO hands or whatever, and Bond is tasked with having to take out this person, or not even take him out, more so figure out what he's doing and stop his plan. Well,
Hmm.
Samus also needs to find this alien because this alien also has the ability to not only multiply itself but also take over hosts, right? Follow me, right? Okay.
Okay.
So
Sure.
because of that, now she is having to inadvertently kind of team up with him. They kind of like run into each other or whatever. But of course, he don't know what the fuck going on. She don't know what the fuck going on. But because she has credentials to show that she works with the more intergalactic force or whatever, she then finds herself being a spy agent in training, right? Okay, so then we get
Okay.
the iconic Zero Suit Samus, but we get her in like a very special agent ops get up or whatever, classic blonde
Oh.
ponytail with the bang swoop. Not the
Oh.
bayang, yes, the
The
bayang.
bank.
Um,
I'm sorry. I'm getting hyped. Go ahead. Keep going. Keep going.
and she finds herself like on a mission, and within this, like I can't think of a specific mission, but I'll just say like for the most part, she finds herself on having to be put into certain missions, like for instance, her having to go to this private party, and she has to go to this private party with him so she can gain intel and stuff like that. But while he's distracting and everything, she's having to like go in the back and do the special ops, which now she's having to kind of learn how to be sneaky and how to kind of like move in a sense that she's never
You
been
can't be a
accustomed
rough.
to. Yeah,
Let's
because
call it a
she
rough
always
warlord.
is she always coming through gunning bitches down with her full suit. And now she's in a position to where she's having to be a special ops agent.
That would eat. That would eat. That would eat. I was also saying
Call me.
somehow, some way, James Bond suit. He has to have a zero Bond suit. That would eat.
Writers, writers, literally. any
crazy.
no, I'm not gonna say any. No, never mind. I wouldn't know who I want to pick it up. Who would you want to pick it up? Like to pick up
Um, okay. Walk with me.
your treatment.
Walk with me. This I couldn't so this I can't see as a comic, but I can see as either like a movie type of game or a movie. I would say again, walk with me. You can walk slow. I would say Jordan Peele. The reason why I say that
Okay.
is because he like the horror aspect of things. I'll say like the horror part of the game. He takes because I mean horror is just good horror and comedy. So like he can combine that two and make it worthwhile. So I would say definitely Jordan Peele. Put him on the project.
Okay, okay. Um,
What would you
let me
put?
see. Cause I I don't know too many like good
I know
uh
while he's figuring it out for my story with Rouge and Emma Frost, I will put either Mark Wade or Joshua Williamson as the writer for my story. But yeah,
oh period. Um James Cameron. I would definitely
okay,
I can see
I see that.
I can see James Cameron for mine. The writer room. Um I don't know. I don't know who would make it cohesive. It would have to be somebody who is versed. 'Cause, I mean, in the movie sphere, 007 is already like it's a bigger movie franchise than it is video game franchise. However, they do have
Mhm.
a video game franchise as well. I'm more so concerned with how they would do with Metroid in that storyline because you need to know the world of
The
Metroid.
stuff, yeah.
So I don't know. I can't say with writers or whatever. I want to say I'm workshopping on that.
All right. But
Yeah.
yes. Oh my gosh, that sounds lit.
Mhm.
Love.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That actually
Oh.
was like that was fun. That was fun. Please, if anybody has any suggestions, I say put them in the comments. Put them down
Put them
or
in the
even
comments. Send it to geek@gmail.com or even DM one of us or DM the Geek page. Send us some ideas, like your ideas for it. And even if you don't have any ideas of your own, how would you improve our story? Just and you check us a little bit, check us a little bit on our info if we got some stuff on, and rework the story with the new info. But yeah, like we would like to see what y'all got. But
yes, period. Because that was just on the spot. Really was just winking shit. So we want to see
for
if you can wing it too. And we ain't talking
period.
about Rouge.
But yeah, thank you for guys for tuning into the to what did I say? I say a word. But thank you for tuning
You
into
did.
the character mashup. We're just gonna take a brief break and then we're gonna hop back into the topic.
And we beat. And we are going to talk about our last little things we want to talk about because we want to wrap it up real quick. But we did not want to wrap it up before talking about one of the biggest news, especially in video game industry right now, in which we talked about it a little bit, but that's
It's
GTA
Drake's favorite number.
6. Yeah, it's literally GTA 6, the anomaly that it is, girl,
Ooh,
and
child.
everything that has dragged itself along with it. So for those who don't know, GTA 6 was I might have to pull it up just to make sure I got the specific date, but I want to say GTA 6 was first announced sometime 2024 maybe. Sometime
It was a
around
minute
that
ago.
time. I want to say around the time it was announced in
It was
2024 and it
2023. It was
no, no, no,
it was
okay, so sorry, so I
well,
actually publicly acknowledged it in 2022. around
Okay.
February. So they definitely
Mm,
mentioned this is when they mentioned that it was on the way. But
okay.
the first official trailer was December 4th in 2023.
Okay.
So since then, in between that, so much has happened, especially when it comes to not just GTA, but the people who are making it, Rockstar. They've had leaks. They had a huge leak. I think a hacker had leaked some early video game footage. I do believe he
Mm,
went to jail, or prison. I'm not too
thank you
sure.
for your service.
Yeah, no, but literally. And unfortunately, that ended up kind of being the only gameplay that we got because we still haven't gotten any gameplay of it.
Over a
And
billion dollars in pre-orders
yeah,
and still no
and no
gameplay.
and no gameplay. Mind you, that first official trailer that I mentioned that was released in 2023, yes, still the only trailer
Hmm.
that we have gotten as far as this game goes. Just to show you the cultural significance that is GTA 6, the simple fact that they have had minimal, and I do mean very minimal, anything that comes to showcasing what this new entry for GTA is going to be. And people still are like, I don't give a fuck because it's Grand Theft Auto. Granted, to a degree, I kind of don't either because
Right.
it's
I'm a
not
hypocrite.
only, yeah,
I'm not gonna hold you.
you know,
I'm a
no, no,
hypocrite.
yeah, yeah, exactly. It's me. I shot myself in my foot, in my own foot. But it's been, I want to say, about 13 years since the last GTA, and I feel like a lot of people have been spent by it. Some people haven't. Some people honestly have made careers off of this. Shout out to T Grizzly because he is still extorting y'all till this day, getting
Mm,
y'all to get into the GTA role play and getting y'all into monthly subscriptions. And a lot of people are still playing the GTA 5 online because they have constantly kept updating it, which I also felt like was on purpose. However, though, within all that, GTA 6 doesn't have any gameplay. They don't have any other trailers. They have done a pre-order, but this game also comes out in November, and we still have little to nothing to work off of. But I think the craziest thing about that is I really do feel
yeah.
like the masses don't give a fuck.
They don't. They don't. And it's kind of concerning. But also, it's also again, it's me. I'm massive. um,
I'm the
like I said,
majority.
I would call it. I am a hypocrite with this, but yeah, like the masses don't give a fuck. But I would say it again. It's concerning because what do you mean you have to make money, like all of this money off of us, and we don't even know what the game is going to look like? The at most we've seen is a map, which is just like, oh yeah, we know the game is going to be big, whatever. Show us what the fuck we can do.
Yeah,
Like show us what we can do. Is it new weapons, like new traversal techniques, like what I don't want to see details. I don't want to like see descriptions. I want to actually see footage of the
yeah,
gameplay. That is
yeah.
what I want. That is exactly what the fuck I want. And we have not seen that. So
No,
safe to say I'm actually disappointed.
I don't
But
even think
again,
we
I still
have.
will be playing. Right.
Well, there you have it, guys. Because he just said it for me too. I still will be playing. It's it's also crazy because I don't
Nonetheless,
even
it's still
think.
disappointing.
No, it's very disappointing. I will be waiting. I'll be holding off just because I definitely do
Yeah.
want to see what comes of it.
I'm not pre-ordering it yet.
I do believe that, me personally, I do believe that it is going to be a shit show that is still going to be like running regardless. Like this is it feels like a great example of like what trash television is. Like this show is terrible. It's bad. There's no plot. There's really no story. However, it's entertaining still, and you're still going to tune in. You're still going to agitate whatever, especially if the masses are all talking
Mm.
about it, especially if, FOMO, because we all have it here and there.
It's the baddies of video
Um,
games.
no, literally. But it's just this, it's like I said, it's super concerning just because I do feel like it's going to be kind of similar to how Cyberpunk 2077 was. Now,
Mm.
for anybody who was there, who was there at the release and just the turmoil that was the beginning of Cyberpunk 2077. That game came out riddled with bugs. So many people were having issues not even being able to open the game. People would open the game and it was immediately crashing. It was breaking some people's PCs. It was breaking some people's consoles.
Couldn't play
And
my Xbox for a while.
yeah, and it got so bad that what is their name? CD Projekt Red, I think that's their name.
Hmm.
They had to
Hmm.
even start giving out refunds because a good bit of the game that people had bought, it just wasn't working. I feel like it's going to be the same thing. However, I do not believe Rockstar is going to give refunds. I think that
Oh,
they're
they're
going
not.
to. I think they're going to tell y'all to sit with it and wait for a patch. We're at the point where most games are going to come out half baked and they're just going to give you packs. Another game, Crimson Desert, it's a perfect example. That game came out, a lot of people complained, and then they was like, hold on, but wait. We got like six new patches coming in the next week. And then as those patches rolled out, people were like, oh, okay, this game has gotten better. So, and that shows you that like they can kind of come out with a half-baked game and it still be fine because they know that they can continue to keep working on it. Mind you, probably have been working on it. They've had 10 years, 10, 13 years, and they're still going to be working on it. And I feel like that is the route that it's gonna go. What about you?
Yeah, no, I completely agree I feel like that's the route it's gonna go. Again, well, I don't even want to say tenfold hat. I'm gonna say tenfold tame. I do believe that the money that they got from the pre-orders is being used for them to actually finish the game. Because I feel like they ran out of money to do that, so they had no other choice but to force pre-orders. And with the billions that they already made in pre-orders, it's like, oh, this is more than enough to like crank everything out, and now we can actually pay people to work around the clock, which we people probably still aren't getting paid more than what they're supposed to getting paid more, but hey, but at least they can pay for more people, whatever. But I genuinely and wholeheartedly believe that they're using pre-order money to pay to get the game finished in time. But again, like you said, half-baked games, that's been like a thing for the past few years. Um, and I myself am over it. So and like again, unfortunately, yes, we still will be playing. But
Yes.
again, like
Yeah.
I will be like I'm still going to be disappointed because what what do you mean this is a half day game? You'd be like, oh well, patch coming out next week or patch coming out in a month, and it's just like, oh, so when the initial like release date was supposed to be.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I do feel like it's going to be because I've heard this sentiment said through like multiple people, even other like podcasters, and even people on social media in general, that like granted a lot of people's not gonna give a fuck or care, but in the grand scheme of things, because GTA 6 is such a big game, a big cultural like movement, a lot of other games, a lot of other developers, a lot of other companies are going to see that and see how people are going to be so gullible to still want that and be like, we can do it too. Yeah, you know what? We can do it too. Yeah, that next Call of
Hell
Duty
yeah.
game, we're actually going to make it at $80, $90. That other next game that we're going to come out, yeah, we're going to actually make that $100. Oh yeah, this game over here, yeah, we're gonna end. That's going to then cause a trending effect of shit we have been complaining about this entire episode, which is
It's
all
only going to
these
get worse.
price increases, all these price hikes, and it not making a damn sense other than corporations and companies constantly just wanting more money while they're still laying off all these workers and these people. It's just it's just asinine. However, it is kind of how things are. I am, like I said, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna hold off. I'm gonna see how it does, and then from there, I'm gonna play it. But I do feel like that this is going to open the floodgates for a lot of other companies to do that. And I also do feel like tinfoil hat, real quick, tinfoil hat moment. I do feel like they're gonna end up turning this into a GTA hub. And once this game does sell, I feel like then they might do a GTA San Andreas remake because it's gonna be more money. Add that to the hub. GTA Vice City, even though this is still based in Vice City, they may have a separate story with the original character.
Mhm.
Add that to the thing. Another GTA remake. Like I feel like that's what it's going to end up coming into, but
Yeah.
only time can tell. Only time can tell.
um, but enough about. I said enough. Oh my God.
Mhm.
Enough about GTA. um, while yes, I am excited for that game. I
Mhm.
think we should kind of touch on some of the games that were shown that are releasing soon. One game that I am hyped to play is Marvel Tokan. I'm
Oh,
sorry. I I am a big fan of honestly anything superhero or anime related or honestly like Capcom related. It's the way I already know my mains. I already know I'm going to be playing Spider-Man. I already know I'm going to be playing Ghost Rider. I already know I'm going to be playing Blade, but my main will be Green Goblin. Because I was actually was super fucking excited. And I would have to say my second like main will have to be Doctor Doom, just off the strength of the pistol blast. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
mm,
I
mm.
cannot wait.
I think that's like a good mashup. I want to say my mains, like out the gate, of course, I have to play my girl Storm because it's
Oh,
Storm.
yes.
I do really want to play Carnage. He looked nasty in the best way. And Ghost Rider too, as well. I honestly, I'm honestly just gonna be rummaging through all the character. I'm one of those people that like I don't just stick to one character. I'm gonna end up probably going to a lot
Playing them
of
all.
yeah, I'm probably gonna play them all just to get a feel and see for who like it is. But yeah, no. I too am excited. I'm also excited since we're on fighting games. I'm excited for Avatar. I don't think it's called Avatar The
Give me some
Last Airbender. I
gameplay.
forgot the actual
No, wait, I think it's
name for
out.
it.
Yeah, I think it's out. I
No, it's
might be
not.
wrong. Wait,
No, you have to be wrong because the
hold
way we're
on.
going to do a live.
Oh no, it's out. My bad. July 23rd. Yeah.
Okay, okay, because we were finna
Nizzle.
do a live purchase right now at this moment. It was literally finna be a live virtual unboxing. Um, but yeah, no, that game I'm also excited for, even though a lot of people have been kind of like a little hesitant on it. I'm just excited just because we haven't had a good actual fleshed out Avatar game for a while. They did try to make a Legend of Korra game with Platinum Games. That was one game that kind of fell very short, unfortunately, but I am excited for this one. And I'm also excited for Phantom Blade Zero, which is another ninja samurai game. I love
I'm a
anything to
sucker for
do.
it.
I
I'm a
literally,
sucker.
I am a sucker. Give me a sword, give me a ninja or a rogue ninja.
I'm sold.
Anybody that has ninja abilities or samurai
I'm
abilities,
sold.
I'm in it. Please. What's another one for
You
you?
can literally say you could tell me the game is trash. I'm like, oh, but you can be like, oh, but it's a sword and a samurai. Sold.
I'm so
Incomplete game. I'll take it.
Like what? I can do shadow clones? No
Like,
Naruto? Girl.
listen, no, for real. But also another game I'm excited to come out. Mostly not for me to play, but for me to watch because I just cannot participate in those is Resident Evil Veronica. I'll
Mhm.
say not participate because I am an avid fan of horror movies. However, I cannot play the games, but I cannot wait to see people play the game.
Same, same. Literally, Requiem is still sitting in my library. I have maybe 10 hours roughly. Roughly. And those 10 hours is me being lost, confused, and scared. Yes. Hungry, starving. But yeah. So I too am there with you. I also really excited for God of War, Laufey.
He's so good.
I'm sure everybody has already heard about that game and all the controversy that came with it because shocker, it's
The
starring
woman.
a woman.
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Where is my big brawly ashy man at? He's not in this game,
At
guys. I'm sorry.
this
Um,
point now, I can't see Kratos as anything else but Ashy. But it
literally.
makes sense. This nigga been climbing Mount Olympus and fighting all day. This is no moisturizer. And then gonna go straight to the cold. Yeah. But
Yeah,
hey,
it is what it
love that
is.
love that for
It's not going to
him.
change the fact that I'm still going to play this game, especially
Yeah,
with the
Lofty's
fact
he's
of
about to kick ass.
the aerial combat that I saw within that. Oh, I'm so excited for it. What's another one for you?
Okay. So obviously Marvel's Wolverine, but as I say,
Hmm.
I feel like that's the
Hmm.
given for everybody.
Hmm.
But I'm really excited for Reigning Legends Retold. So for me, I am a big Reigning Legends fan, and I love the games. But this one right here is the fact that you can play as all the different characters. Literally, it's like the Smash Bros of Reigning Legends. Of course, they're in the same universe, but like it's the Smash Bros. So I'm well, not
Yeah.
literally. You're not literally like brawling like that, but when I say Smash Bros, it's more of like a culmination of the characters. But I'm excited. Like I'm really fucking excited for that, and I'm excited for Fable. I remember my first Fable game was Fable 3. I kind of backtracked. I went to 3, then I played 2, but I am super excited for Fable to come out. I think it's either at the end of this year or next year. Um, I cannot wait. And most of all, even like they let me down time and time again, but also at the same time, like I said, I'm a big Pokemon fan through and through. I cannot wait for Winds and Waves, and coming out next year. So yeah, I would say that wraps up my list. Anything else on your list?
I do want to definitely touch on, I do want to definitely touch on one thing quickly because it wasn't on the list, but Ocarina of Time remake. I am
Oh my
actually,
God. How
that
did I
may
forget about
be,
that?
that may be the one thing to make me get a Nintendo Switch, a Nintendo Switch 2 to
That's
be
gonna be so
exact.
fun.
Just because of the simple fact, like of all the Nintendo 64 games, I never beat Ocarina of Time, but that was
Hmm.
one of the first games that I did play, and I was enamored. So I am excited and intrigued to play it
Good time.
again. And I also just to kind of wrap it up, they did announce Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Last
The
Ronin.
last
They
Ronin.
don't have any gameplay or anything like that, but they did announce it. I
I'm excited.
myself am actually excited. When I said puss buzzing earlier in the episode, I also meant it for this game.
Mhm.
It
That was my
literally. Yeah,
hood.
exactly. I'm so ready for this game. Though granted, it's not going to feature all of the Ninja Turtles. I do believe that this is probably going to be more of a grittier game. I don't know if it's going to be an M-rated game, but it
Fingers
would
crossed.
kind of make sense seeing as though um I forgot
Again,
his
swords.
name. Yeah, I was about to say, seeing as though Raphael goes rogue in
Swords
the
and
end.
thighs. Yep.
Yeah, so I do feel like I'm so excited. I'm so excited to see how they go about that game, in which direction they go, and they better not fuck it up. They better not fuck it up. They
I swear
can't.
to God, if they fuck it up, I am gonna be so freaking
I'm really calling their HR department. Is it gonna make a difference? It's gonna have to.
No, but it's something's gonna say, and it won't be my spirit.
I'm pulling out my good Karen wig. I'm turning it around like Effie, and I am literally going to call HR department, and I'm going to sit on that line all day before
I'll sit
something.
with you.
Yeah,
I'll sit with you.
literally. Because please,
You need
but
to, dear Mr. CEO of the game. I am so freaking pissed.
freaking so freaking pissed. I think that.
I am a white woman in America.
Literally. But
I'm gonna watch my stuff.
though we didn't get to touch on everything, that actually does it for the episode. Thank you so much for tuning in with us.
Thanks for listening to
And
the ramble.
yes,
I
yes, yes,
greatly
because
appreciate it. I am humbled.
we do ramble a lot. But we appreciate you. We are going to try to be a little bit more frequent. Be patient with us because we are still full-time essential workers in our own respective lanes. So be patient with us because we still gonna turn this stuff out because we do miss this and we like doing this and everything like that. So yeah, where can they find you, Mikey?
You guys can find me at Jermaine. That is JGRMAINEE. And you can find me on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, and TikTok under that name. Where can the people find you?
You can find me at Kavvy.shoots on Instagram. You can find me at B.sky, or is it B Sky? Oh, is it one of those?
Blue Sky, Blue Sky.
Um,
Yep.
Cavassier, that is literally like the drink Cavassier, but Kavo. And you can find me at Pete the
That was sweet.
Geekologist
That was cool.
on TikTok as well. And I think that's the
Of
only
course,
socials I
Geek.
can think of. Yeah.
Of
But
course, Geek.
again,
And I was saying, if you're more of a reader and not a listener, I do have a blog,
yes.
geek.blog. Subscribe there. And yeah, I'm saying stay tuned. Tune in for the next episode. And until next time, love you lots, guys.
Love you, Lawrence. My. Do nothing without intention.